I just love how there are certain channels out there on YouTube to this day make entire fan videos. All the music, copyrighted footage, and then they get advertised like in the Radio Times because of their excellent work. But if you do it, you get blocked. You gotta love the world. How they'll flex the rules for some and others just, you know, they kiss you off. And I'm loving how there's people out there, yeah, like I said, still with the so-called reaction channel. Like I said, I like reaction videos. I watch them myself, but at the same time, the moment at the beginning of the video you say, go to my Patreon and pay me money to see the full reaction, you can't claim that that's fair use then. That goes right out the window. And they don't understand. My favorite one's the fair use timer. Where did it ever get put anywhere that if you keep it under so many minutes, that now it's legal? But that's a whole nother subject. No. What I'm discussing is this morning for you folks who are joining in. There's a lot of fans out there who are clamoring now for a Fugitive Doctor television series. With Joe Martin, of course, helming up. Now, I like Joe Martin as the Doctor, as the Fugitive Doctor and all that. Matter of fact, I died laughing because, boom, after it aired, a lot of the naysayers did exactly what I knew what they were going to do. She was more the Doctor in a couple minutes than Jodie's been, and how long? And it's like, yeah, because now all of a sudden you want to try to deflect, you see, to make it look like, you're not misogynist or anything like that. But that's a whole nother angle. Now, what I want to talk about this morning is there's a lot of fans out there who are saying, give us, a Joe Martin Doctor series. And it's like, okay, fine, but there's a few problems with that. And let's just run through them. Number one, when they aired Night of the Doctor, they kissed Paul McGann off with a 7-minute, thing to get him to regenerate, to legitimize the new incarnation that Moffat shoehorned between, McGann and, Eccleston. Like I said, and as much as I love the War Doctor, as much as I love John Hurt's performance, I have to be honest with you, they screwed Paul McGann. This was his chance to really shine, and they screwed him out of it. And they did it simply because, like I said, you can't sit there and look at me, well, John Hurt's a better actor. I was like, okay, but Paul McGann's a pretty damn good actor. It's like, well, I didn't see the Eighth Doctor as being a villain, and it's like, and yet fans are clamoring about the Timeless Child when Big Finish was setting this up. If you listen to Big Finish, the Eighth Doctor adventures up to Lucy Miller, a spoiler alert for you haven't heard it yet, when Lucy dies, he is like on the brink of really going off. And you can tell in that one scene at the very last chapter matter of fact, the name of the adventure was Lucy Miller, that he is barely holding on to it. And yet, nope, we're going to shoehorn somebody else in to sell theater tickets and create a mystery to make people tune in. That's exactly what they did. But, oh my God, I'm going off again. Okay, back on track. Chugga, 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 choo, choo. Okay, now what happened was, when Paul McGann when they aired that with Paul McGann, Night of the Doctor, there were, I don't know how many petitions. It wasn't just one little change.org thing, which doesn't do nothing. It was literally thousands upon thousands of signatures. Oh, thank you, Lucy Miller to the death. Thousands of signatures. There were, I don't know how many petitions that had thousands of signatures. It wasn't just a handful. It wasn't just a handful of petitions either. Wanting an Eighth Doctor Adventures TV series. You know what Moffat and the BBC said to that? Having more than one series of Doctor Who on at a time would be confusing for the fans. Now, not to mention, here's the other rub. If you're going to have an alternate Doctor series, especially one that takes place before the Hartnell years, okay, does that mean you're going to do something dumb like have the Daleks in it? Because if you really want to piss people off, you want them to be steaming, have them saying, okay, well, the Doctor encountered them before that, but, well, they just didn't remember because of the briny, scrambly thing. Are you going to have the Cybermen in it? Especially when the Doctor, as we know... Yes, I'm loving the Boba Fett series, by the way. Thank you for the question. I haven't watched episode 5 yet, so... How many here are watching Peacemaker, by the way? Love that series. Are you going to have anything in it from the main series, as of between now and, what's aired before? I'm sure you could do a few different takes on that and all that. Like, one race I always wanted to see come back, and I know they won't do it, are the Osirans. Because you had Sutek in Pyramids of Mars throwing the Doctor around like a rag doll. Basically, for once the Doctor was like a mouse fighting a gorilla, okay? And that made it interesting on how to proceed, with that. Such an overwhelming foe. And Omega, matter of fact, for you people who remember that little speech at the end of the Rings of A-Hole 10, I've been to a universe where the laws of physics were devised in the mind of a madman. That's a direct reference to Omega and the 3 Doctors. And of course, they did try to bring Omega back in Arc of Infinity, and you're right. You could do Santarans, but do you really think, like I said, I'm asking you, the audience, that a Joe Martin Doctor series would work, given the fact that you're set in a time period before the other one? And one of the things I can't stand anymore. Okay, if you, so you could do. Oh, you're thinking about doing like a mixed series. Okay, someone just put up there, where you have like a Doctor this week, a Doctor that also like. Okay, great. Now I threw myself off track completely. It's just, here's the one thing I can't stand anymore on television, and the Pteroleptals. I love the costume work they did for the Pteroleptals back in the Visitation. A nice period piece, the Visitation. A limited series would work. I could see that. But it's just, I can't stand prequel series anymore. I'm getting tired of that crap. It's like, where the story ends. In my mind, this is how I view things. You know where the story ends. So what's the point? It's like when, Better Call Saul, it's a big hit. No, it's called Breaking Bad for the folks that want, Breaking Bad ain't around anymore. And now you're just going back in time to a previous time. Now it's Saul the lawyer. I don't give a damn about Saul the lawyer and what he had to do before that. You see what I mean? But that's me. And now they're doing all these other prequel series, origin stories. Really? Have we dried up that much as a society that we can't think of anything new anymore? And if you're going to dredge up old stuff, where the hell's my Conan? No, not Conan. I mean, my Thundar the Barbarian movie. Yeah, I didn't watch Better Call Saul either, because I'm like, Saul Goodman was a good character, but I didn't really give a damn about him beyond the context of the series. So I didn't bother. I'm like, no, sorry, I don't care what happened before all this. I enjoyed the story Breaking Bad told. But it's just, I'm getting tired of the prequels. Like we have nothing else. Like, look at all the Star Trek TV series now, other than Picard, that are prequels. And everybody's like, yay, look, it's good Star Trek. Yeah, because they can't think of anything new? They keep going back to the old stuff. They'll try to ravage ideas from the original series to keep this monster going. And a lot of people, well, it hasn't been canceled yet. They're never going to cancel it. They've sank millions upon millions of dollars into that train wreck. And they're trying to recoup it. It's like going to Vegas and expecting to make a profit after a month. Or basically, it's become like owning a boat. It's a hole in the water. You keep throwing money in. But that's just my opinion. But like I said, I'm tired of prequel series. But at the same time, I'd probably, being Doctor Who and all that, I would watch it. But, well, like I said, my main problem with the prequel series of, like, Star Wars, Amidala was really blind, wasn't she? I'm not kidding. I just slaughtered an entire village of Jawas. Let's go hug. Men, the women, the children. I'm hot. Let's go, Anakin. That never made any sense to me whatsoever. And she never told anybody. It's like, hello, mass murder. It's not exactly the Jedi way. Like Kylo Ren. I felt about as threatened by Kylo Ren as I would at having constipation. And that was the sequel movies. Oh my God. He was a teenage entitled, well, he acted like a teenage entitled brat. Yes, I have not watched anything regarding Star Trek after Into Darkness, because, wow, they can't even spell Kronos right. Apparently, Spock going back in time made him change the lettering of Kronos, the planet the Klingons came from. 2 seconds of research. That's all it takes. Many would have done the same as it was his mom. Revenge is not the Jedi way. And to take revenge doesn't mean you wipe out the entire village. See what I mean? That's overkill. I can't side with you on that. That's mass murder. And the children? Explain to me how the children is justified. Or the women who had nothing to do with it. See, you can't sit there and say we would have done the same. I wouldn't have. No way in hell. Yet Obi-Wan comes along later and says, I saw a videotape of him murdering younglings. He wouldn't. And look, there's another fake bot there trying to sneak something in. That's been happening in the chats lately. Bots are trying to slip stuff into the online chats. But like I said, what would you think? This is the question I want you to ponder today. If they could do a Fugitive Doctor series, what would you say to it? You would just say, okay, or maybe it's not such a good idea. I got to get running, folks. I just realized what time it is. So please take care of yourselves. Be kind, be safe, be careful. And we'll hopefully see you in the future. Take care, everyone.